You there, bro?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just get set up outside quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
totally.
Hold up, bro. Hold up. Hey.
Well, look at that view.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, nice view.
Yeah. Are you in
Yeah.
Auckland, Sydney?
Sure. Nah, I'm in Queensland, bro.
Oh, okay. All
I'm
right.
in
We
Surfers Paradise.
Yeah, you hitting the waves?
Yeah. Nah, 'cause I had the operation, bro, so I can't get in the water.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Your hand,
How's
right?
that? How's that?
Yeah, yeah. No, that's perfect.
Yeah, yeah. How's that, bro?
All right. So,
Done.
welcome and thank you for the opportunity, man. It's an honor. You're one of my favorite fighters in the UFC right now.
I appreciate that, bro, and yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yeah, of course. And so, I have at school I have an Australian roommate, and he put me onto this show, and I saw that you use a sound from it. You know, the Big Lez Show. You fan of that one?
I am. It's something that I used to love watching. I actually forgot about up until recently, and then I started watching it again. So I don't actually watch like many TV shows or anything like that, and even on social media I try to stay off. But I've been binge watching it again.
Where are we right now? You on the Big Les Show? Because I know there's a bunch of them.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm just going through them. The algorithm just throws them up, and it's pretty funny.
Oh my God, yeah, no, I've seen all the series like 30 times. So
Who's your favorite?
I was about to ask you. I'd gotta say my top three. I have like a top three. I'd go Donnie, Clarence, and Les, and then but Sassy's like
Yeah,
iconic though.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I like Clarence because he's like the one that just gets picked on and shit. That's how I feel. So,
Do you think you act like any of the Sasquatches? You think you're like you find yourself in any of those guys?
you know what? I actually do. Even give me a P5s or something. Who knows, mate? Like, I don't drink though. I don't drink.
Hey, they don't much
Um,
either. So
yeah, true, true.
okay, so yeah, that's awesome. So I just have a couple serious questions about
Yeah.
your past fight and what's in the future because as you know there are a bunch of big heavyweight matchups this weekend. You got the biggest shit talker right now in Hokit versus the Black Beast, and we got the interim title up between Pereira and Gon. So with those two fights happening, two fights in the rankings above you currently, do any of those guys, are any of those fights something you're interested in?
All of them. All of them. Man, yeah. Look, I think Derrick Lewis is going to win. But
Okay,
I'll be happy
okay.
to take. I'll be happy to take the winner or the loser of that fight. And then obviously with Cyril Gahn and Alex Pereira, man, I'd love to fight both those men. And look, I came here to fight the biggest and the baddest in the
Mm.
world. I'm not trying to pick fights. I'm not trying to have the easiest road to the title. Like, I want to fight the toughest cunts in the world, and I believe I am one of them. I want to test myself.
So you want to test yourself. Would you take a fight that shoots you into the top five, or do you want to show that you are the best?
100%.
Yeah, you'd go right for the top
100%.
five?
Give me Pavlovich now. I'll fight him.
That would be a fireworks fight. I would love to see that. And, looking on this card, people don't really like Hogan and his stunts right now. And you mentioned you would like the winner or the loser. How do you feel about, Hogan coming in with this, weird, outgoing mentality and just act?
He's just doing his job. He's getting eyeballs to the show, and that's it. Like, I personally can't do that. I wouldn't sell myself out like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, look, good on him. It's working for him. But man, yeah, I don't really think much of him.
Yeah, no, I can't blame you there. So you want to shoot for that top five spot. You mentioned Sergei Pavlovich right off the bat. Is that a guy you've been eyeing down? Is that a fight that you want to happen, ASAP?
100%.
Hmm.
If I didn't, have to get an operation,
Right.
I was actually going to call him out.
Okay.
Or even Spivac, like the polar bear versus
Hmm.
the Balkan bear. There can only be one bear in the UFC, So Yeah, I'm here to fight anyone in the top 10, top 5. I'd fight the champion tomorrow, whoever it is, and that's it. That's just how it is. Like I'm a fighter, bro. I want to fight.
Yeah, you just want to get in there with anyone. And obviously you had that procedure with your hand. How is that going? How is PT been, recovery in general? Do you have a eyesight on being fully recovered?
Yeah, look, I want to get one more fight in by end of the year. So,
Okay.
surgery went well,
Awesome.
and just gotta let it heal. You can't force these things, and probably 6 weeks in the cast. I just took it off, do some rehab, and just strengthen after that, and we should be all right.
Yeah, you mentioned rehab and recovery, and you're part of City Kickboxing, which is a place that's really known for their, the skill of their fighters. But I'm curious, are you going to be getting rehab and PT over at City, getting recovering there, or is this you're with like doctors?
Yeah, so I have a really good sponsor, Flexi Clinic, the North Shore of Auckland, and they take full care of me. Like I get physio every single day. Sometimes I have up to 4 physios working on me, just because like they can.
Right.
So I get the best treatment in the world, I believe. So that's why my body is always in good condition. Even when I had broken ribs going into my debut fight, I was sweet. They took care of me. So, yeah.
All right. So, yeah, it sounds like you're backed up by a great team that's going to help you recover. You mentioned you want to get in there one more time before the year's over, so that's December. And so there's fights, there's cards already booked out all the way through, September. And is that, a possibility for you? You think August, September, or you think that first fight will be available is probably like November, December?
Yeah, look, there's no chance for September, unfortunately.
Right.
It's when you have the ligament damage like I had, for it to actually properly set again, it's like 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
So it's what it is, and if you come back too early, you risk of rupturing it again, and then you're out for another 6 months. So look, I've been in a fight camp basically for 4 years straight. Getting into the UFC, having these 3 fights. My body needs a rest. It doesn't need a rest, but obviously with this operation, it needs a rest. Like, it's happened for a reason. You got to accept it. You got to roll with the punches, and what is meant to be will be. So I'm just going to use the time to work on other parts of my body, other parts of my career, and just there's so much I can still do. Mental training, physical training. So even though I'm out for 6 months, I'm getting better and better every day.
Yeah, and that's a really mature way to look at it. A lot of people want to rush in and just get fights that they can get. And that you still have your entire career ahead of you, so there's no reason to rush. So when that first fight comes back, and it's awesome that you're taking your time, I know that you'll be fully recovered. We talked about, Polar Bear versus the Balkan Bear, and, I'm curious, where did that name originally come from?
Yeah, look, my family's from Croatia, and my grandfather's from Bosnia as well. So, my uncle one day just gave me the name Balkan Bear because I'm always like my fight style, and even when I played rugby or footy, I was very aggressive. I would just maul people. I would go through them and just I'll rip their heads off. You know what I mean? So he's like, I think you're a bear. And it suits. I love spearfishing. I love hunting. I eat raw fish. It's just, how many times I've ripped the head off a fish when I was a kid after I caught it and just so my uncle's like, you're the Balkan Bear.
Okay, so you mentioned, all parts that obviously make up the part of you being the bear, and, your family's from Croatia. So do you think you carry that identity of being from Croatia into the public space? Do you think you carry yourself as, a Balkan person, and is that part of your identity?
Yeah, it's not a choice. It's in my blood. And even though I don't speak fluent, I understand a little bit. I grew up on a farm making olive oil, wine, killing animals and smoking your own meats. And I grew up as a very a Western European sort of, even Eastern European, we're all the same sort of. So very European upbringing. And all my friends growing up were Greeks, Italians, Croatians, Bosnians. So it's just what I've been around my whole life. And when I fight, it's you can definitely see it come out. So we're very strong people, very proud people, and we're unstoppable sometimes.
So you carry that identity into your fights, and I would assume that you also carry it into your training as well. So a little more on that. You're at City Kickboxing, and it's one of the most elite combat sports environments on the planet. So specifically, who in there's pushing you day to day that is getting you to the next level?
Man, I'd say like Navajo Sterling. He is my sort of main training partner. Obviously, they got Carlos Ulberg, like Israel Adesanya. But you got like so many guys, Cam Ralston, and then you got the younger guys that aren't in the UFC. Some of them are amateur, some of them are professional.
Yeah.
But these guys coming up are amazing as well. So yeah, we've got so many training partners. I'm just truly blessed to be there with my brothers, learning, getting better. Because this life is very short, and sometimes you don't realize that until it's done. You take for granted certain things, and I look back in my career, and some of the best times were just me in the gym with the brothers. So people move on, people finish their careers and do other things in life. So I'm just trying to enjoy every single session I get with my mates, and we're making history together.
Yeah, you guys definitely are. You guys have some of the best upcomers in yourself, Navajo, Cam. You got guys that are making those strides. So the team as a whole is just on another level right now. You mentioned that these guys are, your mates. You guys are spending time together. Tell me more about these relationships. Do you see these guys more as your friends or as training partners?
100%. Like, we are training partners, but we're mates. Like, if anything ever happens, we're there for each other. And, it's not the gym, it's the people in the gym. So the gym could be the best gym in the world, but without the people, it's nothing. So it's really who's inside the gym. It's the connections you have, the different ethnicities and, the cultures, and it's all of that. You could have the best facility in the world and you don't have like the best team in the world because it's the people. It's not the gym. But man, I'm just blessed to have moved there, and who knows what happens in the future. It's just if I stay at City Kickboxing for my whole career, I hope so. But you never know. Like when I first started fighting, I was fighting from the kickboxing gym in Adelaide. I thought I'll spend my whole career there. And next thing, I'm living in New Zealand, and you just got to follow your heart, and I always follow my heart.
You mentioned that it's the people that make the gym, not the gym itself. And when you say that, coming from City Kickboxing, it's all the more powerful because you're training alongside guys like Navajo, Israel Adesanya, Carlos Ulberg, Cam Ralston. That's not, a normal group of guys that are in every gym. That is, the absolute top of the top. So when you guys are in there, when you're getting minutes, what's that standard? What's that environment like?
It just feels normal. Like it's just another day in the office. And then we have like boxers. Like our boxing team's amazing. We have so many great boxers that really helped me out for my last fight. Like, like when you go to the boxers, you're going to get touched up.
Yeah.
So that's like, man, I did so many rounds with the bigger boys, and shout out to them because, that's what sort of got me through that second round. It's just doing the rounds with the boxers. But it's a great place to be. And it's like at the end of the day, it's all up to you as well. You sort of, you're responsible for yourself. In the gym, there's no one telling you what to do, how to do it. Like, you're doing it yourself.
Right.
It's not like it's like a very free place to be. And if you want to be great, you can be great. If you want to be lazy, you can be lazy. So it's up to you. For me, the only reason I'm traveling now is because I had the surgery, I'm injured, and I'm very limited to the training I can do. And to get time off like this is very rare. Touch wood. And I want to use this opportunity to travel the world, to meet with people I've wanted to meet with for a long time, to just soak up this this last 10 years of hard work. Go see some family who I haven't seen for many years, and just enjoy it, expand my brand, and go see the people, because there's a lot of people out there support me, and I just want to give back a little bit to them.
Yeah, it's hard to not support the Balkan Bear. And on that, I saw you recently hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, congratulations on that, for one. And,
Thank you, brother.
like you said, this time off doesn't come often, and you're taking advantage of it by, you're doing other opportunities you wouldn't have. And, on that, I saw you started a new series, Bear Grylls. And funny enough, another guy over there at City Kickboxing has been running Cooking with Volk for who knows how long. So, when are we getting that collaboration on the YouTube channel?
Yeah, look, in the future for sure. I've got to focus on training, getting better at fighting. Volk's sort of, he's done everything, and he has time to do certain things that I don't have the privilege. Because end of the day, like, I'm a fighter. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not an influencer. I do things when I have time, but man, like, it's very hard for me to sit down and actually detach from fighting and not be thinking about fighting all day, every day. That's after the last 10 years. And I'm trying to balance it out. But yeah, one day for sure, and especially when I get close to like retirement age, or even after I retire, I'll be pumping out all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
I'm obviously looking forward to it, but I'm happy to hear that, you have your mind set on being a fighter, and you know what your job is now. I found it super interesting that you're getting in those minutes with heavyweight boxers, and you mentioned that's how you got through round 2. And in that fight, you were taking some big shots, but obviously that work paid off because you were eating them and walking through and eventually got to the KO. So you've already seen that you can take, some of the strongest punches in the UFC, and you're only going up from there. How much momentum do you feel like you have going into the future after this injury, or after the recovery?
Yeah, look, I think I've got good momentum for sure. But at the same time, people forget very quickly, and you got to be very active. So I'm looking forward to my next fight. Hopefully the UFC build me up as well, like they've been doing. But end of the day, it's up to me to fight, and fight as much as possible. So if I have a fight in December and no one remembers who I am, that's understandable. But I'll make sure they do remember when I fight and when I get my hands raised. So, and look, I love fighting every month. I've fought, multiple weeks in a row before, so I want to be active. I want 5 or 6 fights a year. I was really upset when I got injured, because I'm like, okay, maybe three fights this year if I'm lucky, which is pretty shit in my eyes. But it is what it is. I'm going to use this time to get better, and hopefully in the future I can be like an Israel Adesanya and do 4 or 5 fights a year.
Yeah, I think that, it's awesome to hear that you want to do this much, especially you're one of the most talented guys in the heavyweight division, and to hear that a potential champ wants to fight 4 to 5 times a year is music to any fan's ears in general. So, talk me through, you have this fight potentially in November, December. How many fights do you want to get following that, and how soon do you think you would get back in after a comeback win?
Man, look, I want 5 or 6 fights a year, like I said. And even as a champion, I would want a minimum of 3 to 4 fights a year. And I want to be in the UFC for as long as I can. So if it's 10 years, 12 years, man, I'll be trying to push 45 if I can. I love the UFC. I love fighting, and I just want to be the best I can be. And when I retire one day, I want to have the most epic highlight reel of just all these knockout wins, all these belts, and all these great things that I did. So, one day if I have kids or grandkids, I can look back and be like, wow, like, what a man, So, yeah, I'm here to make history. I'm here to be great. I'm not here just to be a UFC fighter and cash a paycheck, because to tell you the truth, bro, money means nothing. And I'll probably still be sleeping in my van until I retire. So, yeah, I'll just put the belts up in the van, a little display case. I'll just look at it when I go to sleep.
Well, Van or not, I'll be super excited to see when you eventually do get that belt. So I didn't want to load up on questions. I know that we had a limited amount of time, so that's all I have for you today. I wanted to thank you
Thank you,
again
bro.
for the opportunity. This is seriously like a dream come true for me, man. You're one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, and I hope that your recovery keeps going great. And when you get that eventual next fight, it would be an honor to hop on a call again and maybe break that down with you.
100%, brother. Thank you for your time and the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I hope you have a great rest of your
Yes.
day, and I hope your recovery goes great.
Take care, bro. Speak soon.
Speak soon, man.